Another quick thing as we're reviewing, how do you turn a decimal into a fraction? So remember, there's lots of names for these decimals. If I am lecturing, I will say 0.3 to give your ear a moment, like heads up, decimal coming. If we were just sitting together at a table working on math together, I would say 0.3. If I was a stenographer in a court of law, I would use like the suit and tie fancy name. This is 3/10. Similarly, the other decimal here, I could say 0.05, I could say 0.05. What would the formal name of this one be? 5/10, hundredths, so 5/100. If there's a fraction, I'm sorry, if there's a decimal like 1/8 we just saw, then you read out the number 125, and then you look at the place value that's the smallest. So tenths, hundredths, thousandths is the smallest. So this is 125 thousandths. Everyone with me with just how to say them? So if you can say them, then you can write them as a fraction. This was 3/10. This was 5/100. And this one was 125 thousandths. Unfortunately, I'm not done because of that annoying rule. Most things in math and physics are named after the person who did it, like Pythagorean's theorem. But the annoying rule that you have to reduce stuff, right? We don't know who made that rule. They're living hiding, so we don't.
They better, right? They're also probably the same person that introduced the letters.
No, we know that one actually.
Oh.
So which ones can I reduce? 3/10 can I reduce? No, 3 doesn't go into 10. 5/100. Yes, nickels go into a dollar. And 125 thousandths, those look like things I can make out of quarters. $1.25 and $10 I can make out of quarters. So this one is just done. This one is 1 and 20 nickels make a dollar. And this one is 5 quarters is $1.25. If there's 4 quarters and a dollar, then $10 would have 10 fours. So that's 40. I can still keep going. Yes. At all. While we're doing this, let me mention about writing, since today we already had a little lecture about how to write things the right way. If I want to reduce 5/40 into 1/8, then I can write that lots of ways. What I did before was say I'm dividing top and bottom by 5. Sure, that's great. Some people want to write it like a fraction. If you were taught that, that is also completely legitimate. What number does 5/5 equal that we would normally say? A whole. And if you divide by 1, it doesn't change anything. So this is an okay thing to write. It's not as common as what I wrote above, but if you were taught to do that, that's okay. Some people like reducing kind of things. And they'll say, let's divide by 5 on the top, let's divide by 5 on the bottom, and then we get 1/8 that way. That's also a great thing to do. The one you can't do is just a divided by 5, because that doesn't mean divide top and bottom by 5. 5 as a whole is the same as 5 divided by 1, which is a different thing from what we're doing. So you can't write, let me make my big ugly marker. You can't write just a single divided by 5 to mean reducing. You have to do one of these 3 methods. They are all good ones to do. I haven't seen this problem yet this term, but every now and then we get someone that tries to do the one you're not allowed to do.